we limit ourselves through the automatic negative thought responses that we place on ourselves. And then we use that as a buffer, as to make an excuse. Like we have an excuse before said anything happened. I was just having that conversation with my kids, like, in sports, right? It really doesn't matter with the game. Like, okay, with the game of ball, it's always going to be somebody that's faster than you, stronger than you, quicker than you, jump higher than you, and you still going to have to compete, all right? That doesn't make them better than you. And even if they're better than you, right? Who's to say you don't, they don't do, nobody's perfect. We're all perfectly imperfect, right? But you have to put, you got to play your number, man. And you got to play your game against whoever, the world. Put your game right up against the world. Okay? Kobe came out 17 years old. LeBron at 18 years old. They had the same, think about your senior varsity player. They had the same experience of time length, right? Of experience of hooping as you. What was different about them? What that allowed them to compete? It was a mindset. They weren't the best shooters. They weren't the best at anything. But what they had was the mindset that I'm going to play my number against whoever y'all got. And I'm going to play it harder. And I'm a drill just like how they drilling. You understand? And that's what it take. They wasn't limited by what someone else thought they could do. You put somebody else's fears on you. A lot of time we do that, just trusting people that we care about as having the, taking them into consideration. You have to be a bit selfish, you have to be a bit selfish, for lack of better words, you got to be selfish and put your plan first, because again, no, you can't put nobody else's plan in first because you don't know how sincere and where their heart is with their plan for you to get back. This is not for everybody. Again, this is for the men out there, right? You have to be selfish. You have to be selfish, and you got to put your plan at the forefront, and you got to use your vision, and you got to trust your vision, believe in your vision, and you got to trust it because it's not even, you can't see it yet. It's here. You understand? And you got to work it. You got to put your plan and your vision against everybody's plan and everybody's vision. You got to play your number. And you got to play your number just like how LeBron and Kobe did out of high school without the experience. They were still young men, very young men, 18 years old. And they had to go against the seasoned vets. And what they had, the knowledge that they had and what they did, they had to do it against the ones that was already seasoned at what they did. And they couldn't listen to the naysayers, and they couldn't believe the naysayers. They probably listened to them and heard what they said, and they had to play their number. This thing is about playing your number and upgrade when necessary. Reinventing self may be uncomfortable, but sometimes we just got to be uncomfortable. It's like being in the dark.